Hey everyone, it's Mistborn here, and today I'm going to be covering the changes to Surt the Winterjol Mythic Seasonal Dragon. Don't want to say I called it, but I called it. Now, a lot of people are up in arms about this. They are panicking, they think it's terrible. I'm going to try and see both sides here. Don't get me wrong, I was very for Nerf, so bias here. I think this was very, very much necessary. But I will try to be unbiased here. So, what they've done is they have nerfed one spell, Ragnarok. This is the one thing I did not think they were going to touch, and I don't think solves the issue. But what they've done is they have reduced it from 10,000% of the dragon's max damage, max attack power, to 1,000%. Now, what this means in practice, just to keep it really simple, before, when you swiped with Surt, Ragnarok would do 100 times what one of those fireballs would do. That is what the damage used to do. Now it will do 10 times that. So it is a slightly less strong AoE Neptus Tidal Surge. So just bear that in mind. A Neptus Tidal Surge or a Jormungandr Tidal Surge. It's an AoE version of that, roughly. So that's the change. Now I'm going to run through the reasons why it was changed briefly. I've touched on them before. This dragon is incredibly safe. So with him, he is able to... Let's see if I can actually get the spells up here. Wherever they popped it. Apparently this was a really long time ago. There we go. Second wave of Winterjol. Right, so right to the top, we have Surt. Now, he had everything. He's got a white one-shot spell. It's not exactly one shot, but it's so high it might as well be. He has 3 rage for free, and a heal on every spell as well, 20%, 25%, and then 15% on his Ragnarok. He has elemental resist, so he's got twice the HP against elemental damage, and he has an AoE nuke that blows everything up. His Incinerate also goes through Storm Shield, so he can blow up a red mage even if the tower's Storm Shielded. If he gets rage drained, it doesn't matter, and if you're thinking about double rage towers, he can still equip consumable spells like Invulnerability to block that. Now, as this thing said before, as they've said in the post, they did this nerf in order to prevent him from being able to hit above his tier essentially indefinitely. With the previous numbers, let's go back and see it. So with the previous numbers, they a Obsidian Surt, so not max level, an Obsidian Surt was doing 64 million damage with his spell. That's unboosted. That's just what an Obsidian Surt level 25 would do. Now the max health tower in the game at that point is 23,800,000. So that means this is doing essentially 2.5 times the damage at Obsidian tier that the maximum current tower would be. An Obsidian Surt would be able to one-shot max towers for probably another 3 or 4 releases, 3 or more tiers, because quite simply this damage roughly increases by about 30% per tier, and that's legendary, mythic. That's 2 tiers. Legendary's 1, mythic's 2. So you probably need more than 3 or 4 tiers. Anyway, the long story short is you could one-shot essentially any towers. The only thing limiting you was the damage your Incinerate did. That had to be able to one-shot the red mage. If you were following, it didn't matter, you won. Now, believe it or not, the damage isn't the problem with this dragon. The problem with this dragon is you can't kill him. because Obsidian Surts were genuinely tanking Vanguard towers for about 8 seconds because he had double the health and he healed on every spell. He could tank the towers for about 8 seconds non-stop, and you couldn't shoot him down. It was long. You could tank it long enough to get your Burning Hatred off, which means you get another combo, which means you heal more. You just couldn't shoot this dragon down. So I don't think this nerf is going to fix that problem, because yeah, he's not going to be able to hit as high, but at that point you probably would have one-shot him, so it's not going to make much difference anyway. But this isn't going to make a massive difference, just simply because, you know, you're still going to be able to hit a tier above yourself. So an Obsidian Surt is probably going to be able to take a Harbinger base gear dependent. And the thing about Surt is anything he can take safely, he can take without a contest, because his combo is so simple and there isn't counterplay to it. So Surt is very much if he has damage to one shot, he wins, because you can't shoot it down because it's too tanky unless you're literally hitting 4 or 5 tiers above you, which he won't do that anymore anyway. But you preload Ragnarok, so you've got it in your mouth, you cast Burning Hatred instantly to get the rage, you are at max rage. Alternatively, what you can do is just precast Ragnarok, go around the corner, fire Incinerate, let yourself get rage drained, pop Burning Hatred, and you've got 3 rage again. Red Mage is dead, and all you need to do is survive long enough for the Storm Tower to wear off, and then you fire the spell and you win. That's it. As long as you can survive long enough for that Storm Tower to die, like for the shield to go down, you physically cannot lose. You can't lose. There isn't a contest that, like, you can't defend against it. There is no counterplay. Ice Flak doesn't stop it. Dark Flak doesn't stop it. Mage Drain doesn't stop it. This dragon should never have been released this broken, ever. Like, this was so absurd. And people could say, oh, crybabies have ruined this. I mean, I've read through every single post on the discussion thread, and I tell you what, it is a combination of people that are quite passionate on both sides, and there are people that are very knowledgeable flyers, some of the best flyers in the game, saying that this isn't going to fix it. He's still overpowered after a 90% damage nerf. He's still overpowered. The best flyers in the game are saying that. There's a lot of people that think he's ruined, and there's a lot of people that are very, quite rightly, pissed off that a dragon they've paid a lot of money for, like, to get this dragon this early, is going to cost you a lot of money. And they're quite rightly pissed off that what they've got now is not what they signed up for and what they spent money on. And this is because the dragon that was tested in the gameplay faction, the people that are not responsible, but that provide feedback on how powerful things are before they're released, were given a different dragon to test. This dragon was never tested. This dragon was released without anyone checking that it worked. And these people were quite upset that PG released this dragon without actually listening to them, without letting them test it, and without anything like that. Because this whole situation, as soon as they released this dragon, could not end well. One, they have a game-breaking dragon that could hit tiers and tiers and tiers above it, and there was no way to stop it. There was not a way to stop it. And people were throwing out the double red thing. If you're against a flyer that knows what he's doing, Invulnerability Shield blocks Red Mage super shots. And if you haven't got Blue Mage there, you've got nothing. Like, and if you get rid of a damage tower for another Red Mage, you can't shoot Surt down. He's going to get 3 rage every now and then. He's just going to tank your damage and just carry on. there wasn't counterplay. So the moment this dragon was nerfed, this was going to go wrong, because it should never have been released like this. It was not balanced at all. Now, when they release it, they've got two choices. Leave it as it is and have a dragon that those who've got it are essentially unbeatable. And it's not that people have a chance to shoot down. It was unbeatable if you knew how to fly it. And it wasn't a high skill cap. Like, it wasn't difficult to fly. And that's not healthy, because at that point, what's the point in defending? What's the point in backing up your teammates? Because there's no point. If you go into Atlas and you see Surt attack your base and he's anywhere near your level, you tap a few towers, get random super shots and quit, because your hammers aren't going to stop it, your swords aren't going to stop it, your shields aren't going to stop it. There's no point being there. So they either let that happen or they nerf it. And for the sake of the game's health, both ways people are going to be pissed. They had no way out of this because they let this out. And it's... I feel sorry for them, but at the same time I don't, because this was such a huge mistake. From day one, this was disgusting. And people said it. And people are pissed off because they've spent money. And yeah, it shouldn't have happened. So people who have spent on it, I would suggest speaking to PG and seeing if you can come to some sort of arrangement. I'll set expectations. I don't think you will. I don't think they're going to refund sigils, so you can make an informed choice. They should at the very least refund everyone's sigils, or give them the option to refund sigils if they're no longer happy with Surt, because you would have made some very different choices in this game, and they should do that. 2, they should give you an exchange of rubies, if you choose that, so that you can make an informed decision next time. It's more complicated than that, but they should do something like that. Or 3, they should give you an option of a partial refund of the packs you've spent. Not full refund because you've got resources from it and blah-de-da-de-da, but you should get a partial refund of the parts that went towards this as a goodwill gesture or something like that, because people are upset, and rightly so. But this was a needed nerf. This was needed for the sake of balance. Like, taking money out of this was Surt, a dragon that was nigh unkillable, and if you had a maxed base versus maxed Surt, there was actually no physical way unless the person went AFK or threw Ragnarok after Ragnarok into red towers and never pressed his the other 2 spells. There was no way for them to defend it. So how, for the sake of balance, should that be allowed to remain? No. The answer is no. But they waited so long for this, and the nerf won't make a difference. It just means that a Vanguard Surt will be able to clear, and will likely be able to clear the next level Empyrean tier, but it probably won't be able to clear the tier above that. It'll mean an Emerald Surt will be able to clear potentially an Obsidian base, but it will be able to do it so safely that the Obsidian base won't have a chance. I'm all for strong dragons, but there should always be a chance to shoot the thing down. Pathox, if you can't kill the kill island before your cloak runs out, you're dead. There's counterplay to it. You can hammer spam it. You can time your hammers to deal with it. You can hold your super shots off until he comes out of his cloak, rather than just throwing them straight away and catching him once he comes out. Really, there was counterplay to him. UVS, you can predict when he's going to teleport and use the super shots there. You can, be very clever with how you fight UVS, and UVS can be very clever about trying to dodge super shots. There's a balance to it. There's technique to it. And I'm ranting a lot here because this is actually quite a sensitive topic, because if we see more dragons like Surt, the health of this game is going to go down. We can't have bases that can't be taken, and we can't have dragons that can't be shot down. You can't have that extreme. And he was overpowered. People who say he isn't, and then I might offend some people here, but they're not aware of what good game balance is. And they can't see how overloaded the kit is. I mean, there was a video going around on the forums somewhere with, a dragon that was flown very poorly. Very, very, very poorly. Clearing the best drak base in the game at a lower tier. It was like a tenth of the base's defense power in attack power. And it cleared it. And it tanked so much. It got rage drained multiple times. It was not rage efficient. And it got through. The best base in the game was soloed by one dragon defended. And it was flown poorly and it got through. And by the end of it, it was full health. What's the point in defending? I'm going to wrap this up now because I'll go on about for ages about this. Surt needed this nerf. He needed it. It's a horrible situation for the people that have bought it, that weren't aware this nerf was coming, because it needed to come, but it shouldn't have been necessary. PG, if you watch this, please offer these people the option to exchange, or the option to get a partial refund, or a refund of the sigils, or an exchange for rubies, in exchange for removing the dragon, or the dragons, or resetting their seasonal progress. Give them the option to make an informed choice now that the facts are available. And if you are going to nerf it again, which I feel like this dragon needs, do it early and inform people. Let them make an informed choice. Don't nerf, make the change, make it final. I don't think this is enough, but if this is what we get, do not nerf it again. Please confirm if there is another nerf on the cards in the future. Let people make an informed decision. We've had enough sitting there in the dark for ages, not knowing what's going to happen, and make sure this doesn't happen again. Test the dragon. Let the gameplay faction fly it. Let the best flyers in this game, and the people that know this game, test this dragon. The next dragon, the next mythic, the mythic after, the legendaries. Don't make this mistake again, because this is on you. This isn't on the people calling for the nerf. This is on you for not spotting the fact that this dragon could be nerfed by 90% and still be overpowered. That is on you. Please don't do this again. That's all I've got for you today, guys, and let us know what you think of Surt. Now, do you think he's going to be balanced? Do you think he's going to be overpowered? Do you think he's going to be underpowered? By all means, share your thoughts in this thread, the upcoming changes to the Winterjol Mythic season. But people are passionate in there. No matter which side of this argument you're on, people are passionate out there, and people will shoot you down for this. If that's not for you, stay away from it. Anyway, have a good day, guys. I'll see you later.